Well, the most recent addition to our home are 3 adorable little baby doll sheep. And so we're enjoying just the hobby farm life, I guess you could say, and just managing that, watching the orchard grow, gardening, doing a lot of grooming of our new Highlands that we got. So we've had a lot of fun since last fall, spring, bring in a few animals that have been kind of an end goal for us. And
is that more your dream or is that Gary's too? Does he like all the animals?
If he were here, what would he say? Yeah. He loves them. Yeah. And I would say it's both of our dreams. It's something that we kind of collectively went into. Yeah. It's been fun to watch it unfold gradually, which I think when you're doing something like this, it has to be that or you couldn't keep up. But we're having a really good time. He's kind of the logistics guy. So, before I brought the cute little sheep home, the fence has to be up,
of course,
all of the practical things. Yes. So we're having fun with that, and we're having fun with all of the girls and the grands being out and just becoming familiar with them and feeding them and petting them. And it's just been fun.
That's precious. So you've got how many animals now? You've got Highlands, sheep.
We have a few. This is going to be a funny name, but Cooney pigs. Have you heard of those? They're great.
I don't know if I've heard the name, but I think I've seen some pictures that you've shared on Facebook of them.
We have a few of them. Yeah. They're known to be more grazing pigs, so it's more fun because I don't have them kind of in a rut in a hole with a lot of mud.
Yes.
Although they can be dirty.
Right.
But they're sweet. We call them our pig pups because they're just so gentle. Yeah. And then we have our basset hound. We have a couple farm cats. Trying to think, chickens. Yeah, that's the first thing that you had. Yeah, that we love because they give us eggs and we get to share.
Right. Yeah.
So I think I've listed all the animals. I can't think of any others. Now, can't promise there won't be more to come.
But, yeah. So do you guys have a lot of acreage? Are you wanting to expand and get some more? Yeah.
I would love to. I think we might be at capacity being that we're just a hobby farm and we're on just right about 7 acres.
Okay. Yeah.
So you kind of get to the extent to where limited. You want them to be healthy grazing and have enough pasture for everything. Yeah. We've got to kind of keep our eye on it.
Yeah. Now, are you doing honey as well?
Oh, that's the one I forgot.
Yes.
Bees. Okay. Yeah. We have a couple beehives that we kind of have fenced off back in, but we get to see them from a distance and enjoy watching them pollinate. And just kind of the whole goal is to develop a whole ecosystem, but also just a thriving kind of place where it's peaceful and people enjoy being. And so it's definitely, this is the 4th year we've been at the farm.
Oh, wow.
And when we started, we did a lot of research about how to develop that. And then we're kind of seeing the fruition of a lot of those first few years of work. And it's just fun.
So you've had the bees for that many years?
We've had the bees. I think that was one of the first things we did.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had them for a few years.
And you're selling it? Are you just selling the honey or?
At this point, we're at the giving away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just like, here, do you want some? Yeah. It might come if we had an abundance and people enjoyed it. I know the first batch of honey we did, we had a lot of good feedback about the flavor and how much people enjoyed it. So maybe come fall, we'll have some more.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, I know honey is super good for your immune system, especially if it's in the area that you live in, that if you can buy it, locally.
Yes. So that is one of the things is just for the allergens and things it can help if you get it in your local area, which that's what we're hoping to continue to have. I think we have a lot of clover in our area, which I think in this area in general, we have a lot of clover. Yep. So it's got a really good flavor. I planted some lavender fields. Yeah. So hopefully there'll be some lavender flavor in our honey.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. So are you guys ingesting the honey every single day too, or pretty regularly?
A lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Yeah. And, we try to put it on anything. And we're kind of at that place where we try to supplement honey as a sweetener instead of maybe sugar, so not always, but when we have plenty, we put it in recipes and things like that. So it's a lot of fun.
That's wonderful. That's so much fun. I'm so excited for you guys. That's kind of my dream too, is to get to have, just hobby farm stuff and live off the land as best as you can. And
there's appreciation for it.
Yes.
It's different. And now if Gary were here, he'd say, now talk about all that hard work behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a ton of work that goes into it.
I would say it's totally worth it. And I think he would too. Yeah. Just again, for that quality of life.
Right.
It's not for everybody, but it's definitely been a dream of ours.
Yeah. I love it. I'm so glad you guys are fulfilling that dream and you're getting to share all of this with your family.
Yes.
What a blessing that is.
Yeah.
And your grandbabies. And
we have a big enough family to share with.
Yeah.
And so, that's been one of the greatest privileges, is being able just to share it with our family. And we have some, neighbors, and just build that community vibe of, I have a friend who has a farm around the corner, and I recently went to go pick blackberries from her farm.
Fun, yes.
Made a blackberry cobbler for the 4th of July.
Wonderful.
And then here, some eggs for you.
Yes.
We're kind of in that mode
trading.
where we get to share.
Yes.
And I mean, that's the life I just love.
That's wonderful. Yes, me too. We actually have a load of blackberries on the back side of our property, and it's been fun getting to make jam just a few days ago, and I'm getting to share that with my family.
Yeah.
And, it's just
something
a joy.
about going out and picking it off.
Yeah. And you're getting ticks and you're sweating and you're getting pricks everywhere. But then it's just like, getting to hear how much they love it. It just makes it all worth it.
It does. Yeah. There's a value to that. For sure.
Absolutely. So I'm sitting down here with Christina Oller today. She's one of our caregivers, and she's been with us since, if I'm correct, May of 2019.
Correct.
So just over 6 years now.
Yes.
It's wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself to get started?
Sure. 2019 is when I became familiar with Restoring Hope. Before that, and up till just recently, I've been in public education in the area of special education for 20 plus years.
Wow.
If I go back and date myself, graduated from college in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
But went directly into that field and always kind of felt a purpose in doing, and a calling for particularly working with kids and individuals with developmental disabilities of all things. So it's been interesting to see the journey come to fruition.
Did you come from a teaching background? Like, were your parents teachers, or did you have anyone in your life that had developmental disabilities growing up?
It's a good question. Yeah. I did not have any teachers in my immediate family. Huge focus on education and graduating college and finding that path. I had an uncle who had special needs, and I grew up around him, very close to my grandmother. So this would have been my mother's brother.
Okay.
And just have very fond memories of interacting with him and recognizing early that there were some differences, but there was so much joy, and there's just a lot of fun interaction. And I really think that when I got to college and wanted to determine kind of what my future would be and how it would fit into having a family and all those things, that it seemed really natural. And once I decided, I was all in. Yeah. So double major in it, which these days, and people kind of practice in, which is wonderful because it's needed. Yeah. But then I was full on degree. Yeah. Getting into it for the purpose of working in that field.
Yeah. So you spent over 20 years in the educational system then after you graduated. Did you stay at like mainly one school or one area, or what was that journey like for you?
So I started out in Springfield, of all things, at a school. It's closed down now, but that is where I went to school.
Oh my goodness!
So it was my first teaching job. So I worked with teachers that were my teachers.
Yes,
and it was so neat. Wonderful entrance into the field. And I did that for a couple years, and then our family built a home in Rogersville. Yeah, so we headed out that way, and I worked into high school. So I went from an elementary to in special education. You certified K through 12, so it allows you to kind of move within the system differently than just a general education degree. But did high school there, and I love that time there, and the kids and individuals. And then had my third child, decided to stay home because that was a handful at the time.
I would imagine. Yeah.
And then moved to Branson eventually.
Okay.
And then I spent the majority of the rest of my teaching career in Branson. Okay. And that's actually went from elementary there to high school. Yeah. Got to have several of the kids that I taught in elementary cycle through 4 years in high school and see them graduate.
Oh my goodness.
It was a gift.
Wow.
Yeah. Just those families and those relationships, but seeing them from early stages and the growth and the maturity and then the path that they were going to choose after high school was really wonderful.
How amazing. Yeah. That's so beautiful.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. So, after, you've had these babies and you've, had this wonderful career, Tell me a little bit more about like your family and how that has evolved into your journey in finding Restoring Hope.
Okay. I'll go back now. Let's see. So working at the high school, and then in 2015, my husband and I blended families. We got married. And so kind of there's that past piece, and then there's some difficult times and there's some restoration.
Right.
And so the part of my story where I got involved with Restoring Hope, 2015, I think I was finishing up. I know I was. I still had a couple kids in school, and so did Gary. And I was finishing my master's program. I can't remember. I was doing school.
That's a lot.
I was working.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we were blending a family. Yeah, and it those transitions are challenging, but we were very blessed because everybody just gave it their best effort into making it smooth and adjusting, and as difficult as it can be.
Yeah.
So is wonderful. Our first placement, one of our girls, she was a student of mine, and so. Early back in education when I worked with this population, you'd often have, and this happens all over, no matter what setting you work in, you have a student, and then for whatever reason, that student is gone, like the next day. And that happens with foster placements. That happens when a student is removed from the home, like the difficult things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
lots of shuffling around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Abruptly.
Abruptly.
Yeah.
And I think that was so difficult for me as a teacher to not know where they were going to end up. And we have all this that we've built on, and then it's abrupt. And I know that there's a necessity in it so much, but it doesn't make it easier for the individual. So closure for me and also following up on those individuals was so important.
Yeah.
So I remember saying early on in my career when I was working with the younger ones, like I think every teacher's probably said that's in this situation, like if I just knew where they were, I could just bring them with me. If I could
bring them home with me and take care of them.
And they could stay here and they could make progress. They continue to grow. It's an idealistic thing. Yeah. It's not practical all the time, but it's something you see the need for, And so that was, I say that because then it kind of sets the stage for like later and actually the fruition of working in high school and having that happen with one of my high school students, and it happened abruptly. She was gone, and I kind of was at that phase of it happening, and my career was like, and in my own family, like my kids were older, where I was like, I have got to know where she's at, kind of thing, and just made a few phone calls and followed up to see where she was. We had so many of her resources and things that she needed. She's limited verbally, so I knew there was going to be a communication barrier for wherever she was. I knew that was going to increase behavior. I knew it was going to be so difficult. So luckily, I was able to contact the right people who put me in contact with her, and through going out to see her and where she was placed, to kind of, hey, call from the social worker. This isn't really ideal for her. It's not working out since you're already out there.
Yeah,
would you be willing to let her spend time with you for the weekend while we work on figuring out a better placement? I don't know if you knew that part.
I didn't know. I don't remember that.
Pre-Restoring Hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
you may have shared that in the past, and I just forgot that part of it. Yeah.
So she came home with us, and of course I had to call Gary, and the time he's working in a whole different career field, and he, of course, I didn't question for a second that it would be a yes.
Yeah.
The weekend became, can you keep her for a week? We're still looking.
Yeah.
I even put a call out in my women's group at church, like, hey, I have this individual, like, this is what I know about her, like looking for a placement kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anybody be willing? And I kind of tell the story kind of sarcastically, but our women's leader at the time, she kind of came back at me and said, have you thought about it?
Yeah.
And I knew her well, so like she could speak to me in that way,
Right.
And it wasn't that I hadn't, I just had that time of all those years of saying, it would be so ideal to be able to have it.
And here it's right in front of you.
Yes. Yeah. And just that lack of realization of like, maybe this is orchestrated in a way where it's meant to to be. And so I say that it's hard to not get emotional about, because it's kind of neat to reflect on the fact that that's just the way things can turn out when your heart's in it that way. So she ended up staying, and through a friend who had already been working in Restoring Hope. Charlie Stevens, I mentioned his name, and the Stevens family are all involved. Pace, Ryan and Ruby Pace, and Susan Stevens and their families. We've all been good friends for years. Just say, hey, I know this organization. It might be a good fit for what you're, who you're caring for. Right. There'd be a support for you for that. And so we had no idea who Restoring Hope was, never heard of it. For me as an educator, and for all the things that I'd seen, the need for the individuals, and always having the ideal of, if they could just be, have continuity, they could just be in a family.
Stability, belonging.
All of that. Yeah. And long-term, of course, when possible, for me to hear of an organization that it was being described to me as that's exactly what it was. I just looked at Gary and I said, I think this is too good to be true. I said, I don't know if this is legit. Like, I really need to investigate. So we did our research, and we then reached out to someone in the organization and got all our questions answered. We happened to be a fit, in the situation for our first individual. And from that point on, we were hooked, because we saw the reciprocal, we obviously wouldn't have done it if we didn't feel like we could offer something of some good, some worth, some joy, some stability. But then you just realize very quickly that that's turned back on you, and your family receives so much benefit from what you learn from having an individual in your home. And we just realized very quickly that it was a blessing to not just our immediate unit, but our extended family as well. So to see it all come to play. Then we were like, we got another room that's not being used, because at that time we're journeying on to where we had a kid move out. I had a daughter get married and move out, and there's an empty room. And then it's really hard to go, of somebody out there that might need it. And we have this empty space that's not being offered. And so we were like, let's investigate if there's a need for another individual.
Could be a good fit.
It's funny, because Alexis came to us in April, and then I think everything got situated with paperwork and everything through the Restoring Hope in May, like you said. And then we got our second individual February 14th of 2020, which was our anniversary and Valentine's Day. So we thought that was a gift.
That's a big month.
Big month.
It's a lot of goodness.
We laugh because every time it comes up, she's like, it's almost our anniversary.
For everybody, for all
everybody.
of us.
So we're always chuckling.
Too cute. And I think that's when like you're doing what you're meant to be doing, is when you have that feeling that it's just everything is coming into place. And especially like you hit on how your family unit has been supportive of it too, from the sounds of it.
Very much.
It sounds like it's enriched everyone's lives, and especially the girls that you care for too. I would say, what are some things that they've told you, what that's meant to them, having all of your both of your families, united with them at gatherings and family get-togethers and whatnot?
Well, I think first it offers them just kind of that community that is family-centered. So, when they become part of your family, that's exactly what they are. So, every birthday, every celebration, every hardship, everybody's pulling together to come alongside them. No matter what the unique need is, everybody's respectful of that, but it's always, 1,000% support. And I think one of our girls loves hunting. She came from a background where she has memories of doing that growing up with her uncle and her dad. And so my dad's a hunter. And so last year she got to go. She got her hunting license with assistance and just some help, but she was able to get it. Now, with the team, like everything's approved, it's all like, hey,
I'm sure that was a few bit of hoops to go through.
It was. But he got to take her hunting, and Gary went. I mean, it was very safe, but that was just everything to her.
Yeah.
So that was one example of kind of the way the extended family came around.
Yes.
And with our others, I think when it comes into celebrations, it comes into sending a video of support or encouragement along the way. Any way that you think of your family would be there for you.
Yeah.
Or for me, as their daughter, as their aunt, as their cousin, as their sister, is the way my family is there for these girls.
Yeah. What a blessing.
And I get to also say that my daughter, my oldest, lives near us.
Yeah.
And so she cares most weekends for one of our individuals. And she prefers, I think, sometimes to hang out over there.
Yeah.
Because I've got 3 grandsons that are just right where she wants to be for her play and for developmental level and for all the things. And they're doing more things. We're grandparent age at this point. We're doing things. Yeah. We're out a lot.
Right.
And we got plenty to keep us busy at the farm, and she loves the farm. But it's nice to see her ask, when am I going to Brooks?
Interact. Yes.
3 sleeps, 2 sleeps, 1 sleep. Yeah, today's the day. She's excited.
That's fun.
And then we often are together on the weekends.
Yeah.
So then that
she gets to be around them.
Yeah, so we're back to just all being together, but her being there to help. So, and their family has been wonderful.
Yeah, that's so fun. Yeah. That's so cool. I guess I really just kind of want to find out more what this journey has been like for you and Gary as a couple. And then you said you had kids transitioning out of the home, so you kind of were empty nesters, so to speak. Do you feel like that has helped you guys in your ability to care with more patience and more compassion because you don't have younger kids in the home?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think our dynamic has been a really impactful for the way that we've entered into being able to care. We kind of tease, we don't have biological children together. We blended, like I said, but everybody just gets along wonderfully and makes a lot of effort to be united. We tease, we're we have 3 together.
Yes.
Because this has been our thing. This when the girls came into our lives, this was our decision.
Right.
As we had other children transitioning out of the home. And so it has, I don't think we often think about, we would be empty nesters right now if we didn't have the girls. I think we're just kind of made up to be the people of our home's open.
Yeah.
Come hang out.
Yes.
What can we do for you? Or, what times can we have that we enjoy together? And we're just kind of created that way. And so I would say that it's also been really important because when we first came into Restoring Hope and we were kind of told about the programming, one of the things that I was concerned about was the relief.
Yes.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, well, these kids have already had to be here, and here, and finding another.
Yeah.
That was a kind of a mama bear kind of thing in a way.
Protective.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we have come to realize the value and importance in that for us. So that's probably where it's most impacted us as near empty nesters and already have raised our own kids and having a lot going on all the time. We have discovered that now what's helped us discover that is that we have relief homes that are consistent. We've been able to develop some relationships where those are constant. So it's not a lot of different places, which sometimes, and now when we started, it had to be that sometimes because you just have to figure it out.
Yes.
It just has to be what you do. You're committed. But I think in the end goal, if it's finding that type of placement that is conducive or a match, for them, makes us feel better for them to go.
You're more comfortable with turning loose.
That's exactly what I was trying to say.
And then feeling safe where they're at and comfortable where they're at, which I love that, your daughter's doing relief for you too.
Yeah.
And I feel like that happens a lot. A lot of these caregivers come in and their family ends up doing relief because there is that family unit and the connection and safety and comfortability and that family feel that I know you're able to there's no break in, as I said, safety.
Yeah. And there's a continuity still there, I think, with knowing those people so well.
Yeah.
And we have families that aren't our immediate family doing it, but we also have a communication and a kind of that trusting relationship established. And I think the biggest thing is communication between the homes when it's relief. So that's helped us. And I think we've learned to look forward to those times so we can kind of refresh and rejuvenate ourselves. And again, like I said, understood the need for them. Yeah. Whereas early on, it was kind of like resistant.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we don't need relief.
Right.
Yeah. We don't want them to leave. But and two, I mean, I'm sure they probably need a break from you guys too. Yep. I can't imagine needing a break just knowing you and Gary. You guys are wonderful people and I'd love to hang out with you guys all the time on your hobby farm. I absolutely love that. I could just chill there all day and help you guys work. It would thrill me.
You say that, but it's true because we tease, sometimes we'll say, and the terminology, sometimes I can get hung up like, I'm like, We'll tease the girls like it's relief weekend. I'm like, yeah, you need relief from us. We'll it's like has nothing to do with us needing to get away. It's like, you need a little break, right? Yeah, and we'll always kind of give that
turn it around.
Wink.
Yeah, I love it. Yep. So, are you able to teach the girls more like independent skills as they're getting older and stuff? How has that been for them and for you guys, helping them with that?
Yeah, that has, it's so individualized. Yeah. Because we have 3 individuals. Yeah. I kind of talked up at the point to where we got our second, but then we were able to welcome another individual. I transitioned into NICSA into doing some administrative kind of work in special education. Okay. And then I'm now currently just teaching some adjunct classes at Drury University.
Okay, I didn't know this.
Did you not know that?
Yeah, I did not.
It's been a fun transition for me, but that's
cool.
what allowed me to be home more because it's asynchronous, online teaching in the graduate program, which allows me to be home. But then it allowed us, then we moved another space. And so here we are with 3,
Yes.
And so it's been neat. But the Drury thing is teaching. I'm prepping teachers to go into the special education field.
Wow.
So it's been lovely.
Yeah. And someone with your experience, like I couldn't think of anyone better. That's
I hope
neat.
that it's valuable to them. I like to bring in the practical pieces of it. You got to do all of the standards and all the things that's required for Missouri. But I try to bring in really practical. This is what I wish I knew. This is how to prepare.
That's huge.
Right. With 3, it is definitely very individualized. We have. So I think that's where I appreciate the team. Yeah. I appreciate the team all the way around, like the Restoring Hope team, the meetings that we have monthly, the service coordinators in our county. Yeah, that has been probably the biggest resource to us because you have the micro lens where you're there working on those individualized things every day. Yeah, and it kind of can be the grind sometimes. But then you get to pull back when you kind of in those meetings sometimes and have like a zoom out perspective. Yeah, kind of. What are the most needed, areas of focus. So we just try to take it from an approach of scaffolding. That definitely comes from my education career of learning that, when you're first learning something, you might have to be more hands-on and you have to do a lot of modeling and representing and visual, and you just practice and routines. And then it's like, okay, we've got that down. They know what it looks like. It could be everything from good hygiene, brushing our teeth. One of ours, we implemented counting for a certain amount of time, just to make sure, because hygiene was a focus. Yep. And so I can hear her counting sometimes in the bathroom still. And I'm like, you don't have to count, but it's like telling a kid to wash their hands and count to 20 seconds. Yeah. So some of that stuff.
Or is it like singing happy birthday to you? I can't remember that. I remember that like in middle school.
Go through the happy birthday song.
Sing this, don't stop washing your hands until you're done singing that song. Right. Yeah.
But I think for the independence piece, a goal of ours is to help them feel like they have the capability of being as independent as possible. Yeah. So the scaffolding piece is what I said is where, once we've got a certain thing and then pull back on some level of it and let them do it independently and then praise and, good job, great. Yes. You have to know your kid and if that's something that they value or not. Yes. But it can be on whatever level. It's just more of an accomplishment. And then I think the sense of just, I can do this. Back to our first individual who came. Yeah. It was a challenge to have her bring even dirty laundry to just the washing machine, not wash, not do all the intricate things.
Bring it there.
Just bring it.
Oh,
And that was out of consistency. This is kind of a funny story, and I don't know how much time we have, but I'm going to tell it.
Oh, you're good.
One of her things, like she came from an environment where she couldn't move about very much.
Okay.
So that was one of our biggest challenges, is just moving about to go to the bathroom, moving about to get up to eat.
Yeah.
Moving, like to me, which was a health issue.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
right. But she loves rings. So she was always asking, for rings, and it kind of came down to where I was like, well, I can use this to my advantage. You know? How can I use this? So it became like, can you bring me the laundry and rings? I would love to get you rings when you bring me your laundry,
Yes.
And that went on for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because there's a meeting of the minds there where you got two stubborn people for different purposes.
Yes.
It was always pleasant, but it was always just matter of fact. It was always like, I'd love to get you rings, when you bring me your laundry.
Yeah.
We walked in maybe 2 weeks later after this being an everyday thing. And we walked in after church one Sunday, no conversation, no nothing. Went to her room, picked it up, brought it in and went, rings?
Yeah.
And brought the laundry right where I needed to.
Yeah.
We went within the hour.
Yeah.
And we went and got some rings.
Yes.
I should have already had them
Right. Should have had them, but
we
that's
went on a trip. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
I've never, ever had an issue. And so I say that on the independence piece because today, 6 years later, she looks forward to laundry day.
Aww.
She asks when it is. She loads everything herself. She knows how to switch it out. She folds it, and it's so fun to watch her system, you know.
Yeah.
Got to have a system sometimes.
Yeah.
And she's so proud of herself. And I always hear, Nana.
Yeah.
That's another piece probably that would be important for us. We are grandparents of almost 11. I'm really starting to lose track.
Yes, okay? I believe it.
I've got a daughter who's,
if you're getting up
who's
to
delivering
that,
again in
digits.
September.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're there.
Yeah.
And because it's so natural and we have grandkids over pretty frequently, Nana and Papa is what has stuck for us.
Yeah.
And the girls they're not, call us whatever you want. Call us by our first names. Call us mom, dad, call us whatever. But Nana and Papa has stuck. It's just been that natural thing for our family. So Alexis will say, Nana, and she wants me to come in and see how she's got everything laid out beautifully and ready to hang up and put away. And she can do it all from beginning to end. So that is kind of a success story.
That's amazing.
An example.
Yeah. To start from where she did to there. Yeah. I love that.
And that times 10 other things that she can do independently now, or that she loves to do times all the girls, and just different areas.
Yeah.
Of working on those independent skills. And sometimes like we've got one that's in the work program. Her whole goal is to work.
Yes.
And they've been a huge support for her, knowing that has been one of her goals. I mean, her biggest thing is talking about saving up for Disneyland, and we're like, girl, we're going to get you there.
Set on it. Yeah.
We're going to get you there.
Yeah.
So she's got, the team Restoring Hope Works program coming alongside of her. And
is she still working at the zoo? Is she still there? Okay. Is she enjoying that?
For the most part.
Yeah.
We tease her because she talks about being an outdoor person, but then you get out there and you got to do some of that hard outdoor work.
Shoveling, some interesting, not probably great smelling things.
And we're probably all there. You want to go to the zoo and see the animals. You don't want to go shovel the stuff.
Right, yeah.
But she does. I think above one of her qualities is that whether it's her favorite or not, she has an end goal and she'll do it.
Yeah.
Like we've talked often about how that's such a good quality for a person who's wants to work, is that you'll do the hard stuff to get to the places you want to be.
Yeah.
And finding the fit for her for that. And then she, I think, is working some for the new maybe t-shirt.
Yes.
It's getting developed and up and running.
Mm-hmm.
And Caitlin's been a great
invisibility. Yes. Yes.
I've probably been told that, but that's clever.
Yeah.
So the independence for her is learning to go be able to work.
Absolutely.
And feel like she's doing something for her own individual self with the goals that she has.
Instead of just living and cohabitating with you guys, she's got a purpose, something to wake up to, and a goal.
Exactly.
Sounds like she's a goal setter. She got Disney.
Yes.
As a dream to save up for.
Big goals.
Yeah. Very big. Yeah.
Right. But when you think about
it's an expensive thing.
It is. Yeah. And we tease because that's probably not Gary and I's favorite place.
Yeah. Right.
And think about all
a lot of people.
Other people. Yeah. But, in a heartbeat for her
absolutely
to fulfill that dream.
Yeah.
And, we, our other girl, the one that's been with us for 3 years, her level of independence is literally participating socially at the Nix a Day program.
Yeah.
Because that's hard for her with
Gotcha.
anxiety and with some of her other difficulties. So at this point, it is going from I don't want to go, or I'd rather hole up and, to I can function and I can get value out of my day and what we do. And the program offers so many outings and so many opportunities.
Yeah.
So, she's spent by the end of the day and ready to come home and do what she likes to do, which is have
Yes.
some downtime by herself.
Yeah.
So that's, respected, and that's where she's at.
Yeah.
So it's so individualized.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very tailored to each one of them.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, it sounds like they're all very different.
Very.
How does that work personality wise in your house? Is there ever some struggles, or does it seem to work pretty well because everyone's kind of unique in their own way?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say that's something that Gary and I have had to evaluate regularly because it's so individual, but it's the same with your kids when you're raising them. It's the same with you as a couple.
Right.
Like nobody's the same person.
Nope.
I lean, and it's probably my teaching background and my classroom management. I lean on the kind of rigid structure, routine. Gary is as flexible and as easygoing as they come.
Yeah.
And we always find, I think that's just a value that we bring together to what we're doing now.
You balance each
we
other
balance
well.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. With no push and pull of that. Like, in other words, we value what each other has to bring. And I think that benefits our girls in our
would
home.
say so. Yeah.
Because our
balance and fun, structure and fun, all the same, or peace.
Yes. Because I can see when I need to kind of go, oh, that's too structured right now.
Right.
Like we need to just let loose and have a good time.
Yeah.
Or she needs to be able to do that, even though this was the expectation. Like individual, it's coming again from that small lens to zooming out. And I hope that we never lose the ability to, and this is a challenge, I think, for no matter what situation you're in relationships, just never lose the ability to zoom out and like look at it from another perspective, particularly their perspectives.
Yeah.
Being in a home, their challenge.
Right.
Talk about an adjustment for us. Well, their adjustment, they're the things that they're still dealing with in the past, and whether it's been smooth and whether they've been, whatever it is, you still know that is a challenging thing for any individual. So we really work hard to come out and go, how they might be looking at it, and how can we see it from their point of view, and then maybe adjust what we do with still there's common expectations. You have to have your things set for what's safe, what's conducive to the group as a whole. We just work together pretty well. My focus is like, I want the thriving piece to be there for our individuals. And that can be idealistic sometimes when especially there's trauma and there's background things involved where literally you're just trying to get up the next day. Right. So you can't like over expect, but I don't think I hope it's not wrong to have that goal to always reach like, what is their place of thriving? Yeah. And even if they're not there, like offering the opportunity. Does that make sense? Yeah. Offering it to them. Right. So, yeah. Yeah. That farm comes into a big play for that for us, because you've got an environment where one of the girls loves to be by herself and she loves to go walk the orchard and be kind of separate. Right. Together some, like we do a lot of stuff together, but there's times where she needs to be away, and we'll find her. 4th of July, we're all, a lot of activity, a lot of noise, a lot of family. Yes. Yeah. And she wanted to see the fireworks. And she asked ahead of time if she could watch them from the orchard. So she's sitting out there. And she told me the next day, she goes, that was so much fun to watch them from out there. And I was like, I wish I was out there with you. Yeah. That wasn't the point.
Just camped out there with you. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. And that's so neat. You're recognizing each one for who they are and letting them be who they are.
Yeah. 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 That's important for us. Yeah. And again, the perspective, sometimes you have to kind of go, oh, wait. I'm not looking at this from the lens I need to look at it. Therefore, back to the team, back to having each other to do that, back to just remembering that is why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's what you're there for, is to support them.
Yep. And we for very blessed reason to have just been able to find a balance.
Yeah. Yeah. So. I mean, because at the end of the day, it is a job, but I mean, it's also a lifestyle for you guys too. Yeah.
That's exactly right. It is finding that, it is a job, but I think it's one of the most unique jobs that you could have. And watching it blend with your 24/7 hour life and finding the way that you can mesh things has just been something you figure out as you go.
Yeah.
But we're blessed that we're able to have support and be able to do it in the way we do it, because that is not ideal for every organization.
Right.
I mean, we feel extremely blessed to, be able to give the time and attention and care that they need and not have to be outside of the home as much as we used to.
Right.
Because they require us being more available, obviously.
Yeah. When you have 3.
Yeah.
With all different needs, medical, physical, all of that's involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, it's what you do, like it's your life.
Exactly.
So it's a meshing. It's a meshing that's very unique.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily for everyone.
Right.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people have to come into this open-handed mindset that, sometimes it takes a while to find the right individual, but with you, I mean, you guys came in with her from the start, and then you grew from there as well.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I know it's just different for every situation. I think that's something we don't, we plan to continue. We love what we're doing, but who knows in the future what might change, and we have to adapt to,
right.
And it'll just be basically, like you said, having open hands and what's there. And so much of it is you do have to prioritize what your expectations are, but you have to think about, like, what can I do to serve or offer someone else? It's much like teaching, it's and much like many service-oriented jobs.
Yes.
There's some compensation, but but for some people that doesn't weigh out.
24/7. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's got to be a focus of being open-minded. Yeah. And that has, like I said, I'm more of the rigid kind of structured person. So that has been probably where I've grown the most. I've been able to say that what I thought something ought to look like, no, it needs to look like this instead, for the benefit of the individual and for our family, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it has to work for everybody. And then that has grown me in areas of being able to see something from a different point of view. So, and I'm kind of person, when we have our team meetings, I'm like, have lots of things stored up, and it's not complaining. It's not anything. It's like, I just need you to hear, like, this is where I'm at. And I love to problem solve, and I love to, like, bounce things off, and I love to hear other points of view. And I'm the first to tell you, hey, kind of know where I'm at, but, like, I really think I need some other perspective on it.
Yeah. Could use some advice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hopefully, that's where, again, I've grown, I hope, a lot. And then again, it's been able to be an immediate benefit to our family and our unit.
I think that's such a great trait to have too in this field, is someone who's willing to learn more, because, different levels of someone's trauma and stuff will surface through their healing. And so they may, I'm sure, backtrack at sometimes, even when things seem like they're going good, other things are surfacing as the healing's happening. So I think just being a constant learner and being willing to adapt and grow with them as well, I think is amazing.
Yes. And looking at things as layers, instead of making progress and then, we're back at the beginning. Like, when you've got somebody placed in a situation where they've got that much support, especially through Restoring Hope and all that we have to offer, it is going to be layering growth instead of, so even if it looks like something is resurfaced, that's still rebuilding new ways of coping for them. That's still building, I've got this network now around me as I'm experiencing this, instead of being, alone or in a different situation. So I just look at it as like a building, and more of you got the big loop, and then that loop continues to close in, and that's where you might see some of that trauma happen, but maybe recover more quickly with people that you've got around that you trust.
Yes.
And again, not to idealize it, because some trauma can be so difficult. And we have an individual that we have very difficult situations with, and we sometimes feel like, oh, we were making so much progress.
Yes.
And here we are, like, having that same conversation. But we remind ourselves frequently that then we don't stay there as long, or, oh, she used that kind of coping. So, like, she is functioning at a different place because of the support she has around her. And it's not just us in our home. It's a lot of supports. And I think it's just it's the dream team, if I could say anything about this field and my experience, and sometimes the lack of what can be offered our individuals coming from the public system. Everybody does the best they can.
Yeah.
But there's generally you go home at the end of the day and you still have things you're working with that you have to start over again at 8 a.m. So you've got this holistic model now in a home where that's 24/7 and where it's just layered with so many supports. And I mean, it's something that when I was young, I thought if this could happen for this kid, this would be the best situation. And here we are.
Living it.
I love it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking here, what is Gary thinking about living with 4 women? Like, how does he deal with that? Obviously, he's a peacemaker, but I'm just wondering, like,
yeah,
you picked him like for him.
He is a peacemaker. That's one of his enneagrams. Yeah, for sure.
A 9, right?
Yes, he's a 9 all the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You'd have to be.
I teeter between there and another one, but he's like, he's all peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's designed for it. He just has that laid back kind of way about him. He also sees things. I kind of tease because he came from like property preservation. He sold insurance. Like he is a logistics kind of guy. Like the details, just the hard physical work, all those things, farm life. That's
so is he a 9 wing 1 then? Is that his?
Probably.
Because
it's been a while since
the
we've looked at
one's
it.
kind of like, they like the details.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm going to make sure I verify that with him when I get home, but I think you completely pegged him right off.
Yeah.
Which for our situation, I've said, with the unexpected of having our first individual, like we didn't go out looking for it. It kind of came to us.
Right.
And we see that as such a gift now. We see that as a way just the Lord has orchestrated like all of it for them. But for him not expecting that and never saying, oh, this is what I'm going to do in my later years.
Right. He probably never could have imagined, this being his life.
No,
but
he's a natural.
Loving it.
He's a natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just has a way about him. He's a dad joke kind of guy.
Yep.
The girls totally get a kick out of it, whether it goes over their head or whether they get it. I mean, they get it often more than I do. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that was a joke.
Yeah.
So they get tickled. There's a lot of laughter when Gary's around.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of just joy.
Yeah.
He's not a complainer about it. Like I said, I think if anything, what we do together, if any individual one of us is like, we come to each other.
Yeah.
Then we come to the team and we work it out. But we're all, our goal is to always have kind of a unified approach to it. And
united front.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And we are that. And just having open conversations. If there ever was a time where we, felt like we needed something specifically, we'd have to be able to share that. But I just go back to the fact that he's a natural, and it's very easy with him in the home with the girls. Because now, the challenge for that is the girl things, the hygiene things.
Right.
Like all of that, like obviously falls on me.
Yep, up to you.
And he gets to do some of the paperwork things and all that. So we do divvy the responsibilities well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's those fine lines.
Yeah.
But I mean, no complaints there. He's just really, really great with them.
Yeah. I believe it. Yeah. No doubt. So what is your Enneagram? I know we've had this conversation before. You'll have to remind me. Do you remember what it is?
I forget because one of them's peacemaker, loyalty.
Okay.
That one.
I don't know. I'm just
there's 3 that
familiar
I'm
with
tied.
The numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like put the context behind it. Like the number thing I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
the titles too.
The titles.
Yeah.
Peacemaker and loyalty. And there's one other. It's been a while since I've done it.
I know like a lot of our program management team, a good chunk of them are the type 1.
Yeah.
because, they're planners, they're organizers, they like to get things done.
Right.
And they wing too, which is the heart behind the social work.
Yes.
So
that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I have mine saved somewhere. If I go back and look, I'll have to follow up and tell you.
I would say you're probably somewhere in there. But I don't know. But you and Carrie both seem to just jive super well together and do such a beautiful job caring for these girls. And I'm so glad I've got to meet you many years ago and visit you at your home and do a little interview, which I don't know that very many people know that we have that on the website. There's that testimonial on there too. Yeah, but it's a really great story, and I hope people will have a listen at that too, because Gary gets to sit down with you too, and you both get to share your experience and some more specific stories with one of the girls in particular. I remember she was going through some health things and going to physical therapy, and she was impacting people's lives just in her environment at physical therapy, and it just touched other people. And so that story was amazing too. And
when they're so meshed in your life that, like, I forget so many parts of the story, that those are really important pieces. I mean, she was very sick and needed a lot of medical attention, and she would impact the people that she was working with. I wish I had that joy. So I hope people listen to that as well, because it's good.
Because I think a lot of us forget that. I mean, I just stopping at a store on the way here, that people are frustrated at the register and they work there, and it's like, to represent a company like that and to be so negative to a customer coming in, but having someone like that that's going through some hard times and still having a positive attitude is super inspiring to be around people like that.
They can teach us, each one, so much about perspective in life. And overcoming things that, we can complain about the little things, but they put in perspective for sure of the joy that they have through some of the hardships.
And you guys get to, be acquainted with that trauma that they're carrying every day too, and you're helping them through that. But you're modeling that to, when you're out and about in the community or in the store or whatever, that love that you have for them is just super inspiring and uplifting, I know, for people to see.
And I appreciate you hitting on, like, we're not experts in the field of trauma. Like, that is a whole other level, right? But there is something that we can offer, which is that continuity, which is coming from a place of love and, like, looking at what they're, what they need, versus what maybe we expect, again, finding that balance. But I appreciate you mentioning that, because even if you could feel a little bit underqualified sometimes with, depending on who's coming in your home and, are anxious about it, whatever, I think understanding that there's some very core things that you can provide in your home and then you can let all the other pieces fall where they may. That it can't be underestimated. Just that love, that care, that stability, that family. The host home model, like, to me, is foundational for them making growth in all the other areas.
It's really the best thing since sliced bread, in my opinion.
Agree. I agree. And I've, again, the fact that it's out there, that's out here is it's a really beautiful thing.
And I'm so glad you guys have been able to share it with other people too, and get your family on board with what we're doing, and share just life with these girls, that you're changing their life and improving their lives. And
we pray so.
Well, you are. Absolutely. You guys are doing a wonderful job, and just being a great representation of the quality of caregivers that we want at Restoring Hope. So thank you and Gary both for being that, and being a resource to other people that are, thinking about this, or, maybe they've done foster care before, or they just, maybe they, as I said earlier, have their empty nesters. They still have room in their heart to care and take care of somebody. And they've got some bedrooms in their house, so that's a good place to start. But really, I think it boils down to, it's got to be in here.
I agree.
You may not know, trauma care. You may not know behaviors. You may not be a nurse. But if you've got a big heart.
Yes.
And room in your home.
Yes.
And in your life for that, I think that's a great place to start.
All the other things can be learned.
Yes.
Whatever level is appropriate.
Yes.
But if you have the right foundational heart, then all the rest will come.
Yep.
It'll fall into place.
It'll fall into place, as you say.
Restoring Hope provides training for that.
Yes.
And like there's other, so
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think something too much to worry about if, like you said, your heart's in it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, with our conferences too, I know you and Gary both have attended those as much as you could when it fit in your schedule. And it's been wonderful to see you guys there. And
we learn a lot.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the sessions.
That's great.
I never, ever go thinking, what else am I going to learn? I always think, what are we going to learn?
Yeah.
What do I need to be reminded of that I haven't thought of or hasn't been in the forefront, you know, like refreshed in.
Yes.
So those are so beneficial.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you got to be a part of it and appreciate everything you and Gary are doing for these girls and for restoring hope. And
our privilege.
Yeah. We're just so great to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Come back to the farm and see all the new animals.
I would love to. I absolutely need to come back and do a little video work. And
I appreciate anybody who enjoys farm life as much as I do.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Like that's my dream. When I go out into my garden and I'm just with my plants, I feel so funny. It's just like, my husband's like, I can water the garden. I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I want to.
I got it. Because I said, that's my time to decompress with my plants. And there's just something about putting a seed in the ground and weeding and watering and putting up, you know, the fencing and the paneling and the hoops and the fertilizer and just, it is so much work. But then whenever the fruits come in and you're harvesting and you're sharing and you're making things with it, like it is like the most amazing thing. I love it. Like I could just do that and be totally fulfilled.
And so funny how that mirrors life.
Yeah.
Same thing is what we do for people.
Yes.
You know, you take where somebody's at, whether it's seed or whether it's further along the journey, and you do the watering and you do the caring and the nurturing, and you do see fruit come from that, you know, different degrees, varying degrees.
Absolutely.
But it's all worthwhile. So I totally get the value in that. Appreciate it
for
that reason.
And I love that you hit on that too, the process, and that at the summit that we had in Springfield, I was the hostess of the event, and I got to talk about how, you know, when it comes to individuals, there may be issues that come up, and being able to recognize, like, okay, this is going on. Who can I reach out to help for that? So when I had first got started with gardening and I was growing tomatoes, I got so frustrated because the bottom of my tomatoes had like this black rot. Yeah. And I wasn't able to harvest like anything, like even cutting the top of it off, there was just like nothing left. So frustrating. And like you put all this work into it and then it's for naught.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I've got to ask for some advice. So I go to my parents who have gardened for a long time. And like, what's the deal with my tomatoes?
Right.
And they said, I think you've got a calcium deficiency. Mm-hmm. And so from there forward, I started putting Tums, dropping the Tums down. Yeah. Before I planted, and then, you know, like taking my old eggshells and baking those and powdering them
Sprinkling
down.
Them around,
Or if I had old milk, you know, I'd put that on. And I tell you what, like for the last 6 years, I've not had any more issues.
That's amazing.
With rotting. And so it's just like, but I related it to like, you know, you have an individual that has an issue and you may like, and that's why I feel like our summits, our conferences, any training you can go to, any extra events you can go to with Restoring Hope, if you can ask someone who maybe had this kind before or had a similar situation, or maybe you don't even know if they have, but you could just pick their brain and say, hey, I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for me?
Yes.
So, and I love that you're an ambassador and you get to do this for our other caregivers. So
we love to do it, and we still need it ourselves. So it's a very, very kind of circular thing.
Yes.
Just like all the you just talked about with planting and harvesting and finding out what's needed.
Yes.
And then applying it and then seeing the benefit.
Yeah.
It's
the fruits
really
of your labor.
Beautiful thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it. So neat. Well, anyway, thank you so much. This has been so great. And yes, I would love to come out to your farm. I'll have to connect with you on that. We'll be out there, and hopefully I can get some some pictures and some videos of all the fun, beautiful things.
Giovanna's been out, and I think it was not too long after we got our second cow. Her and one of our service coordinators, Christian County, they were like, could we see the cow? I mean, I was like, if you're asking, I'm taking you out there. We did all our business stuff first, and then we went out there. So anytime.
I love it.